Hello, friends. I'm so happy to see you again. I'm Elizabeth Elmer, your English language coach. I'm here to help you in any way that I can. Do let me know what your needs are. We want to look now at a very short video, and this comes from Google, and it's called Meet the Human Google. This is such an interesting video, and it'll be good practice for listening and later on speaking. Meet the Human Google. It's talking about the New York City Library's program of answering your questions, such as the first Google that ever existed was a human being, and it continues to this day. So we use this very short video to talk about what is the main idea, what are the details, and also to listen to the language. What phrasal verbs are being used, like check out, check on, reach out. Also idioms such as over the years. So we're using this to listen to accent, in this case, New York City, which we understand really well, and it's a good practice. We'll be listening to other accents. It's good to practice listening to many different accents of English, both within the United States, but in England, in Australia, in India, in many other places. Also, that we're noticing what the main idea is and what the details are. So I hope you enjoy this video. All best wishes to you as you continue on your journey to reach your potential. I'm here to help you, Elizabeth Elmer. All best wishes. The first one. So you're all familiar with Google. How many times a day do you look at Google?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, department. Okay, that means more than once. 100, 50, 20, 3. Hard to say.
Or let's say.
I use I look at so many words, or I look for the Google Translate.
You help with Google Translate. Okay. Okay, that's okay. You could do Google Translate, or you could just ask Google, what does this word mean in Spanish? Or what does this word mean in English?
Yes. And if I need to hear the pronunciation of the words, so I use Google Translate for this.
It tells you the pronunciation, or it pronounces the word, which is also very useful. Okay. Maritza, how many times do you use Google a day? Do you have any idea?
I think 4 times a day average, because I look for the lesson plans, ideas, or images.
Right. And what about you, Nayeli? How often do you use Google every day?
I was thinking that, for example, for looking for places, I use it a lot. For translation, I think I use other tools, like Google Lens, that it's part of Google, so it works good for me. So just maybe 5 or 6 times,
perhaps.
maybe, I don't know.
And I usually do it like once or twice. I don't. It all depends on what I'm doing that particular day as to how much I have to search for something. Okay. Now, so if you have time, I want to look at the first example of Google. And Adrina actually already has it already. Thank you, Ms. Maritza. This is called Meet the Human Google. And the subtitle is, well, it's a very long subtitle, and you see it there in your activity page, but it's about the New York Public Library. And there's another subtitle, which is Google Before Google. Meet Google Before Google. What do you think this is going to be about?
Okay, I think that when the word world without Google. So
A
I
world
think
without Google. When do you think Google started?
this is a good
You
question.
might need to ask Google, right? Yeah.
Like
I
With
was
the
actually going to Google
dictionary.
that, but I never had time to Google that question. Would it be like 1980, 1990,
97, yes.
1985? We don't really know. Okay, so in this particular case, the title is The Human Google. What do you think this little video, it's only 1 minute, what do you think this is going to be about?
It's a person that you call and he looks for the answers in the dictionaries, in the almanacs or whatever, and tells you the answer.
Yeah, this is Google before Google. Huh? Google before Google, and they're calling it the human Google. The other two examples are what we really believe is Google, right? But in this case, it's the human Google. Adrina, can you show us this video? It's really fast. It's about a minute long.
And the title of the video is Meet Human Google or Google before Google.
Oh, no, the title is actually Meet the Human Google.
Meet the Human Google.
Yeah, so I think it's the only one that I sent to Adrina. It's that one with the girl sitting there. And it says, Meet the Human Google. Okay.
Yes, but I need to share the sounds too.
Yeah, so there's a couple of words in this particular video that are expressions and phrasal verbs, but I'm sure you're going to be able to understand the entire message. So Miss Maritza made a prediction that this is about somebody that looks things up in books. Are we ready to roll?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do I need to push the button or you do? You do. It says the New York Public Library.
What do you call a group of cats? Oh, let me check on that. It's called a clouder of cats.
If you have a question, any question, there's a number you can call.
917-275-6975.
And a librarian at the New York Public Library will try to answer it for you.
Hello, thanks for calling Ask NYPL.
We have 10 librarians on a team, and we answer any question that you may have over the telephone. In the office today, we have Matthew, Bernard, Serena, Diane, and me. Our department, Ask NYPL, began in 1967. We started answering questions over the telephone, but people have been reaching out to librarians for as long as there have been libraries.
The New York Public Library has actually saved records of some of the more interesting questions they've been asked over the years. Like, is there a full moon every night in Acapulco? Why do 18th century English paintings have so many squirrels in them, and how do they tame them so they wouldn't bite the painter? Are Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates one and the same person? In a world of Google, it's a bit surprising to know that they get around 30,000 calls per year. My question is, why?
Oftentimes people might not have access to the technology at home, and I honestly think some just want somebody to talk to.
So the next time you have a question, like, how many teeth does a great white shark have? You can call this number.
917-275-6975.
That'll ring inside of this building, up on this floor, and maybe Bernard or Rosa will pick up, and they'll answer it for you.
They have about 300 serrated teeth.
Thank you, Adrina. Well, what do you think about that video? Is it strange?
Very interesting.
In these days, they look for the answers in Google or in books.
It's really
Good question.
Yeah. Did you see they used the computer, but they also used books? How strange, right? And
Yes, but it's very interesting because it's like to have all the knowledge in the world in your hands or in a library.
true. But then they asked Rosa, the person that was talking, they said, why? Why would somebody telephone the library? And what did she answer?
Because sometimes people don't have the opportunity to have technology in their home or next to them. So this is an strategy or an option for these people.
Mm-hmm.
And also they feel lonely and they want to speak to somebody.
Right. Rosa gave two
Okay.
examples. Yeah. Yeah. Rosa's, so they said, why? Why in the age of Google? Why? And how many calls do they get every year?
I think 30,000.
30,000. So the New York Public Library gets 30,000 telephone calls a year to ask for kind of like Google questions.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
they said, why? Why? Well, one, maybe lack of technology, and the other is maybe they just want somebody to talk to, like a human being.
The same reason that Marisa said.
Yeah, that you just mentioned, Maritza. Wow, isn't that strange?
Well,
yes, and I think that I heard that they start this program on 1996.
No, earlier.
1967.
Okay.
Yeah, 1967. And I'll make sure that you all have a copy of this video because you might want to listen to it again, right? And when you take your notes, those are usually things that you want to pick up on. So what do you think is the main idea in this little mini video? It's only, like 1 minute long. But what do you think the main idea here is?
Maybe to promote this program
Mm-hmm.
for people that want to be part of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also to share this story that is amazing, no? Because after all these years, it's still working, no?
Yeah, it's still. And
or maybe
how many people do they have there that are answering these questions?
I think they said 10, but they
10.
5 or 6.
Yeah, they have 10 librarians. Only half of them work at a time, but they have 10 librarians in this department. Wow.
Yes, but for me, yes, one of the main idea for me, it's also that despite the technology, there are people that prefer not using it, or there are a group of people that also need that kind of service, no? It's like today, no? Not all the people loves this technology, no?
Or it's like during the pandemic, not all children had access to computers or internet or etc. So if we're going to make a sentence, so when you're dealing with something you're listening to or reading, the first thing you do is a prediction. What do I think it's going to be about? What words do I think I'm going to hear? What do I think the message is going to be? That's all called prediction. That's before you listen, before you read. Like if you're at a meeting, you're going to prepare for a meeting. If you're going to listen to a lecture, you're going to prepare for the lecture. If you have to read something or if you have to say something, it's before, it's the prediction. And your predictions were correct. And then when you're listening, you don't have to understand all the words. There were lots of collocations in here. There were lots of two-word verbs, but you got the idea. It was easy to understand, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was easy to understand. This is at pretty much the intermediate level. This was easy to understand. So you don't need to understand all the words. You have to get the big idea. So if we want to come up with an idea, so it's called the main, well, the first thing is prediction. Prediction. The first thing is prediction. Before you listen, before you read, before you go into a meeting, etc. You need to make predictions from the title, from a photograph, from your knowledge, you're guessing. I think it's going to be about. So Marisa said, I think it's going to be about the librarians. And you were right, you know, like, but tricky title.
You wrote prediction only to me in the chat.
Oh, excuse me. Wait. And
for me, it was a little difficult to get all the questions that the people made. I will listen it again, but for me, it wasn't easy to get all of them.
Kind of too fast, no?
It was a little bit fast. Okay, so it was a little bit fast. Now, that gets me to what kind of accent or what kind of English were we listening to?
American English.
American, I think.
American, yeah, okay.
Maybe
so
New
this is
York
called Standard American English. What city were they in?
New York.
New York, because it's the New York Public Library. But nobody in this video was speaking with a New York accent, which is good because it was very standard. It was much easier to understand. So even though they were in New York, they were speaking standard American English. And the other videos, you'll find out I selected other places. Okay, so it might be more difficult. So yes, you do want to listen to it again. Was it going too fast? Was it the accent? Was it the vocabulary? When you're listening or reading, you need to analyze, you know, why didn't I understand that? But you go back and forth, back and forth. So the first word is prediction. The second word is main idea. So the main idea is, in this day and age, there are still librarians answering questions of knowledge from the public because they might not have internet or technology, or they might just want somebody to talk to. So that's a whole sentence. In other words, the idea. What's the main idea? And then after that, there were details. You know, they were talking about lots of details. Okay, well, the question is, what did you learn today?